Little customer service story for you today. You know, there are no menial jobs, only menial attitudes. This is a little story about a taxi driver that I met. Now, this was before the times of Uber, and it was just taxi drivers, so perhaps their competition was a little less, but that didn't stop this man from really stepping up onto the stage of his job and knowing that he makes a big difference in the world. Now, you think about taxi driving, it's probably not a job that people leave school with this passion to do. You know, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a taxi driver, I'm so excited. It's probably not that kind of job, and you'll probably find that in the taxi driving industry there's a lot of people that are doing it part-time, semi-retired, doing it around study, that kind of thing. But this gentleman really owned his stage as a taxi driver. So I've got a lot of taxi driving stories, and most of them aren't good stories, I've got to tell you. But this particular one is a great story. It happened in Adelaide. I was down there working. I was getting a taxi back to the airport to go home. The ladies at reception had called my taxi, and I was sitting waiting. And I was sitting there waiting. I saw a gentleman walk in. I saw the black and white cab pull up. The gentleman walk in and walk up to the reception desk, and she said, "Yes, that's her over there," pointing to me. This gentleman came over and said, "Are you Julie Cross?" I said, "I am." And he said, "Well, I've got your taxi here." He said, "My name's Rod Fuder." Put his hand out, shook my hand. And I said, "Thank you, Rod." He said, "Is this your luggage?" I said, "It is." He said, "Well, let me take it to the car." I said, "Thank you, Rod." We get out there, Rod puts my luggage in, he opens the back door for me. And I said, "Rod, I get car sick. Can I sit in the front?" He said, "Sure." Opens the front door for me. I hop in. I notice that his taxi's really clean and smells great. That's big for some taxis, let me tell you. You see, when we have a healthy self-respect and we own the stage that we've chosen in the world, we would look after the environment that we're in, because that's what you would do when you were doing that. And so I then noticed that Rod was nice and clean and smelled good. That's really big for some taxi drivers too, I've got to tell you. And so when we have a healthy self-respect, we make sure that we present the best of ourselves to the world, because that's what we would do when we had a healthy self-respect and also for the job that we do. And so I closed the door, and then Rod said, "Julie, if you'd like to read a selection of today's papers, they're just in the pocket of your door there." And I go, "Rod, I get car sick, I'll vomit." He goes, "Oh, fine. Would you like to listen to some music?" This is still when we had CDs. He said, "There's some CDs in the glove box right there." And now I'm thinking, what's going on? Is this like Candid Camera or something? And I said, "No, Rod, I think I'll talk to you." And I said, "Rod, it seems that you really like your job." He said, "Julie, of course I love my job. I chose to do it." And then I'm like, "Rod, you've been to one of my shows, haven't you?" And he said, "Look, there's my card there. You see those letters after my name?" So I picked up his card. It said Rod Fuder, TGSA. And I said, "Rod, I haven't got a degree. You know, I don't know what TGSA means." He said, "It means Tourist Guide South Australia." He said, "You see, Julie, I'm often the first person that people meet when they get off that plane. I'm a representative of this great state of ours. You see, there are no menial jobs, there are only menial attitudes." He upgraded his job and said, "I'm not just a taxi driver, I'm seeing the bigger vision of what I'm doing and how I'm moving through the world." And he said to me, "Julie, we've got the Fringe Festival on tonight, the comedy festival. I know what shows are on, so I could recommend some of those to you." He said, "You tell me your cuisine and I'll tell you the best restaurant in town to go to." He said, "Julie, I even know where people your age go to dance." I said, "You're losing me now, Rod, you're losing me." And anyway, we continued to have a chat, and when we got to the airport, you know, I literally reached out and patted Rod on the back, and I said, "I want to thank you, Rod, for making a difference in my life today. So thank you for your wonderful service." And then he handed me this form, and he said to me, "Julie, if you think it was that good, do you mind filling out this form and entering it? Because I could win 10 grand for Taxi Driver of the Year." I said, "Give me the form, Rod." Because you see, when you have done everything you can in the level of service and the way that you've connected and affected your customers, they will want to promote you. They will find ways to promote you. They will be on TripAdvisor promoting you. So let us, you know, make sure that we're empowering our young people to own their stage and seeing that on their way to where they're going, we all have a stage to make a difference on. And for whatever job we've chosen, we have a chance to make a difference in the world and leave our legacy and connect with the people around us. That's how we really make a difference in the world. See you next time.